welcome back to my own personal channel for the pelargoniums. I thought it was probably about time that I did one, and the reason I'm actually doing it is primarily because I haven't got a clue when I'm going to be able to do another video for the Pelargonium Society. Just got a lot of things going on. Returned from holiday very early on Tuesday morning, it should be said. Plants very well looked after by my daughter, as was always the case. But one of the first things that I've got to be doing now that I'm back, I'm filming this on Wednesday the 27th of September, is getting the whitewash off of the windows. It's something we have to put on in the Northern Hemisphere, of course. In England, the days are very long and very warm and sunny, and you would really scorch anything that you keep in a glass house without the whitewash. So it's a thing that we have to do now. This year, I only put the whitewash on the outside, all around the sides. On the inside, I made the decision this year to put it on the inside. I don't know whether that was a good decision or not. It's probably marginally better to put it on the inside if you've got very, very difficult access, and that's the problem that I've got here. Because this end, my greenhouse in particular, is very closely sunk between two sort of buildings, two large garages. It's far too difficult to paint the whitewash on from the outside. So I made the decision this year to do it from the inside, and so I'm actually now just getting this off. I'm having to sort of use a little saucer just to protect the little bits from dropping on my plants. It's not doing too bad a job actually though. It's quite a straightforward procedure. A little bit of a damp kitchen roll I find is the best thing. It's coming off fairly well. Now I thought it was probably a good opportunity just to have a chat in general about a few bits and pieces. Now one of the big problems that I've had this year in terms of sort of major pests is whitefly. I do of course have the long-term mealybug problem, which we do seem to have sorted out to a certain extent with the using of the vine weevil killer to dunking the root balls in the vine weevil killer, which covers a multitude of other sort of insect pests as well, including the root mealybug, which is what I particularly have a problem with. I think I said vine weevil a second ago anyway, but yeah, it is designed for vine weevil, but the insecticide covers root mealybug as well, which is very beneficial, and it does seem to have worked. I've really been able to clear the mealybug to a vast majority of cases. I get very little of it now. But this year, particularly on the Regal, well, I say particularly on the Regals because vine weevil is whitefly is a main issue on Regals in particular, and some of the scentids. And it's been a real problem. I've got a few on here. I have sprayed this. And I mean, there are various things you can get. You get this thing called neem oil, which you can spray on the underside of the leaves, and that does help prevent it. And of course, there are various insecticides you can use. But this year, whitefly has been a real pain. I don't know whether it's because we had a slightly cooler summer, of course, in the UK, and whether that's really brought them on. I mean, the big problems that you get, I mean, there we are. If I tap that leaf, they'll all flick off, although it's a coolish morning, so they're a bit inactive at the moment. I mean, it's only a summer problem. They will disappear as the season goes on. But you need to look out for the little eggs that they lay. Look at that. Hardly any of them are moving. That's interesting. You need to look out for the eggs. Which you can clearly see they're like little dots, little matted dots all over the underside of the leaf where you've got the whitefly. Yeah, I've got a few eggs on there. Oh, excuse next door's youngster who's having a bit of a squeal. I'll see if I can show you this. Might be able to home in. See if I can home in on this. Yeah, there we go. Right, now, if I got something pointy, not handy, no. So there's a couple of white fly there, and there's the eggs that they lay just there. You might be able to see those little dots. Hopefully I've got that in the sun now, which of course is showing through now that I'm getting the whitewash off. But that's the eggs. And you need to ensure that you remove all leaves. Sorry if I bashed the camera there. With these eggs on, as well as the white fly. And you can see several eggs just around that area. So that's what we need to get off. Let me just refocus the camera. That's what you need to get off from your regals, really. If you strip off the eggs as well, you probably won't get too badly infected as the season goes on, because of course they will calm down as the days get cooler. You won't see so many of them at all. So, you know, they will dissipate as the colder temperatures come through. But before that time, you need to be trying to get rid of as many of them as possible. Right, now I'm just going to need to get to that window. Now the outside there, where you can see the whitewash, that's on the outside, so I'll just go around and brush that off. That's not so much a problem. Plop that down there. I'm not going to make this a monumentally long video. I try not to edit these really. I'll pop that down there and hopefully I can get to that. I've got some youngsters over there, young plants that were all put in one big tray to enable my daughter to easily water them. In generally quite a good season. I mean, we didn't have the heat, although strangely we did have quite a bit of rain in early August, but here individually as an area, it actually became quite dry in the second half of August, and a lot of my water butts that I rely on for the water became empty, which only happened very early in the season when we had a dry spell in the spring. Put that there. There's a dwarf. I mean, that has almost grown back. This was cut back in just after the show season, and that could almost be put in another show now. I mean, the blooms are not a great deal, but the body's not too bad. I've got a feeling that this is the one that won the Best in Show at the National this year. Yeah, it is 19. I mean, that's grown back very strongly, to be fair. My larger plants have grown like weeds, as has been seen by many people with some of my larger plants. Posted pictures outside, actually. If you want to look at my social media pages, you'll see the Tinto Mara, which I did cut back just prior to going away, which I need to sort of obviously at some point relatively soon I'm going to have to get those all back in the glass house, and as at the moment I really wouldn't have a clue where I'm going to put anything, but I had a bit of a reorganisation. That's actually come around, not dropped anything. It's doing all right. Just got a lot of things going on. I mean, I normally, you know, I like to do a video fairly soon after coming back after a break. But I've just got a lot of things going on, a lot of, you know, dentist visits, and, you know, this annual dentist visit and 6 monthly, whatever you want to call it, and just lots of personal stuff going on, car services, and so I don't know when I'm going to get the chance actually to do another PAGS video. Hopefully it won't be too long. So I thought I'd just have this sort of chatty one now on my own channel, just to show you that I am keeping busy. So So that's that one virtually done. I think that's okay. This is another plant that's done very well. This was cut back really hard. I think I showed that on this channel actually. Cut back really hard. Saw lots of little side shoots breaking out on the bare stems, and they've all gotten through and it's flowering like crazy now. That's actually done very well. As I've said, plants that you sometimes don't think will do well come through very strongly. Okay, so good to have a little chat, and as I say, give you a little catch up as to the fact that I'm just quite busy with lots of different things at the moment, but that's certainly let a bit more light into the glasshouse, particularly up this darker end. Days are getting very short, past the equinox now, of course, so days are getting progressively longer than, the nights are getting progressively longer than the days. So yeah, we are moving into the sort of autumn period, although because the weather's been warm, you know, there's nothing sort of visibly looking autumnal outside yet, but that will no doubt come. Good to see you again, and as I say, if you're passing by, click the subscribe button, put your notifications on, and you'll see when I publish a video. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye for now.